Hello everyone, I hope you're having a good week. There's not a lot on this coming weekend, I don't think, but the weekend after this, so next week. On the Friday we've got Matt McCullough coming to speak about one of the last subjects we want to talk about very often, and yet something we should always be considering, and that is the fact of death. And I think that will be a helpful conference on the Friday evening. Do look in the bulletin and online for details about that. Very much on my mind this morning is the decision in New York regarding live birth abortion, and the big discussion there has been in Virginia. I haven't said anything from the pulpit about it because it's not really came up in the passages we've been speaking on. It's weighing very much on my heart, and from a number of perspectives. One, it's what it says about the callous disregard for human life that it represents. However much we euphemize these things, we're moving into new territory. We're moving further down the road, really, into how easy, if it's easy to dismiss the life of a child in the safest place where it can be, its mother's womb, when we can catch that child as it's being born and allow it to die, are we any better than the Canaanites in the Bible who exposed their children like that to their children and offered them to their idols? Their idols were Dagon and other names. Our idols are perhaps comfort or convenience or whatever. It's an abomination, really, to our society, and soon, of course, we'll be doing the same with older people. We find it already happening in continental Europe, where basically once you get to a certain age, you don't get any help. You don't get the medicine you need. You just get left to die. But there's also the victims of the abortion industry. People who, when they were young, were encouraged to have an abortion and who are living with the trauma of it. And those people don't need us to condemn them. They need us to reassure them that God knows that we got caught up in the society we're living in, and that we can make decisions on our own or under pressure from other people, parents or friends or others, partners, that we regret later. And so all I would ask for is we must talk about this subject with utter disdain for the actions of abortion, the abortion industry. But on the other hand, we must be able to talk about it with compassion and support for those who've been caught up in the vortex of that, who are among us and who need a shoulder to cry on, and they need the comfort of the gospel. And so there's a place for indignation and there's a place for compassion, and we need to distinguish the two as we consider the matter at this time. So be praying for our society, for Western society in general, because that there would be a recovery of God, because only once there's a recovery of God do we respect what God has made, whether it's a human being or the environment or anything else. A recovery of God. We need to be praying that God would reveal himself, make himself known as our Creator and as our Redeemer in Christ. Have a good week, and see you on the Lord's Day.